live.
Hello, hey, hi, howdy, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Zenith, titled Hell. We're really excited to have you here today, and we've got our full cast with us tonight. And we excuse me. I think we can run into some quick announcements, quick introductions, and then head straight into the game. Um, as far as let's get our introductions first. Hello, my name is Alex. I will be your GM for tonight. And I'm looking forward to hanging out, playing some Dungeons and Dragons with everybody. Uh, Anybody else?
Hello, my name is Dyson Autism. I tell stories on the internet, and I will be playing Besieged. Pleasure to meet you all.
Hey everybody, my name is Abhishek usually go by Neon Raiden, and I'll be playing Eris, one of our lovely little rogue assassins today.
I feel like I have to go next.
Hi, my name is Seth. I'll be playing Vesper, our other less lovely rogue assassin.
And hi everyone, I'm Mozz. I'm playing the other warlock.
Yeah.
Hello.
We're very on theme as a party, and I love that for us. Before we hop into the game, I want to quickly remind everyone that in lieu of financial remuneration for us as part of this channel, for running this game, we are donating all the proceeds that this game receives to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. That link can be found in the chat with through the command !donate, all one word. The PCRF has been providing free medical care for thousands of children yearly in Palestine and Levant since 1991. And they envision a world where all children in the Middle East have access to quality medical care and humanitarian aid. By donating, you not only get sick, cool rewards from the stream, but you also get to help out a really good cause that has a lot of need and a lot of purpose in the contemporary world. And again, you can find that through !donate in the chat. And with that, I believe we can get into it. So, allow me to share with you a perspective. Among the greatest injustices in the natural world is that some people are born with sorcery, the ability to do magic, and others are not. The great sorcerers of old channeled their natural inner strength and their sheer force of will to shape the contemporary world from a time when myth still bled into history. Now, most mages develop their magical abilities through the study of wizardry. This used to be a backwater, esoteric field for hermits and recluses. Now it is the dominant force that shapes society. But not everybody follows this path. Not everyone is born with sorcery. Some people who have need of magic later in life make contact with beings from other worlds. Most of these people end up signing their souls away to devils in exchange for magic and power here in the natural world. Violent magic. This practice is reviled and forbidden, but the allure of power keeps the tradition alive and well. Rarely, individuals make contact with something else. Something stranger, wilder, and unknown. Zahir is one such person. It is late at night, maybe 11:30. Zahir, what's an average night look like for you?
If he's not working on something, well, working with someone at a nearby guild or hawking something for some quick coin, he's getting a little too drunk at the nearest well, near his place, laughing, flirting with the most prettiest girls, and then going to bed really late. Maybe.
All right. I like that. So one place you might find yourself is a place where many people like you, people of unusual power, find themselves frequenting a place called the Lich Lord Tavern. It is in the outer ward of the city, the poor district that's buttressed up against the walls that separate Zenith proper from the outlands, the untamed wilderness that is full of monsters and largely prohibitively dangerous to travel through. It's not lost on anyone, really, that the poor are part of the barrier between the wealthy and the wilderness. But such is life. After a fine night of good conversation, good drinks, interesting gossip, and really all that you could hope from for a night out on the town, you begin to head home. Suddenly, as you progress, a headache begins to build in you. It almost feels as if the pressure in the air around you is increasing from all sides. The air itself feels fizzy. It's a very visceral sensation, but one that you are not unfamiliar with. You know that the angel of the presence is descending upon you. What do you do when you are visited by your patron?
He's an opportunist first, and he always tries to save his own skin if he can.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing he's going to do is just curse under his breath, pull straight behind something, and just make a barrier as if he's saying, like, I wanted to go home, not talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, you do that. Sure. I'll say it's late at night. I'll say what you can do is that you have a general idea of like what happens when this thing comes down. You have a general idea of like, okay, what direction am I needing to be looking at? And I'll say you can like sort of duck behind like a market stall or something along those lines. Are you trying to hide and be unseen, or are you trying to just put an object between you and the
It's just
angel
like
as you speak?
instinct. He's just like, like as if someone came in to your house and you're just like putting that door, like, dang it, but you can't close the door on them. So you're like,
Sure.
he just has that face of what?
Mm-hmm.
Like the hangover is already starting in
Yeah.
his head.
And what does your patron look like?
Almost pretty similar to the people around them. Like you could confuse them for anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you see their eyes have this glimmer of black that kind of wisp out a little smoke. And you just know that they're kind of an outsider.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. The angel of the presence appears to you in many ways. Tonight it is a tall, pale, thin man in a sort of long black coat over a white shirt. And as he steps out from a corner, an alleyway, he just looks directly at you. Hello, here. You're needed tonight.
Hello? Or what?
You are needed tonight. Somewhere else.
We have better things to do. I have to sleep. I have to wake up in the morning, feed some chickens.
You do have better things to do. That is not it.
Even though he wants to move past it, he kind of bows his head, and he holds like a necklace of jade
Mhm.
that doesn't fit his style,
Sure.
and he like clutches it as this is his wife's last like piece of jewelry, and looks at his patron and says, "Don't let him mess up my hair," and kind of like bows his head before letting Kamar like appear out of him.
Mhm. Sure. And what is Kamar?
Kamar you just see white bandages wrapping
Mhm.
around him, filling up the gaps, pulling his hair back into like a bun that disappears. His face, everything is now covered under this white. And Kamar is bulky, muscled, and he just, okay. Well, sleeping all day and drinking, that's not what I want to do. What do you got? What do you got?
I need you to kill somebody.
That's oh that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Where is he? Where is he?
How?
And he just like kind of nods his head and punches his fist into his palm and just okay. He's ready.
This is as much as I can tell you, but our God will be watching. Things are beginning now that you're needed for. Take care. And remember that where you walk is always hallowed ground. You ready?
He just grunts and just does like a very low bow as if he's like doing like a mocking thing for a second, but follows like very confident of himself.
The angel of the presence of Enuma Elish nods at you one final time. Goodness go with you. And at that, the ground beneath you begins to tremor and shake and almost melt a little bit. It's almost as if the cobblestones beneath your feet just become a sort of quicksand in a way, and you just feel yourself sinking. It's late enough at night that you don't catch anybody else on the street at this point in time, but even in a city as wondrous as Zenith, this is an unusual method of travel. You fall. And you continue to fall for what feels like an unreasonable amount of time. Whether you sunk below the city streets after a meeting with an angel, or whether you hopped through a locked hatch while being pursued by the magisterial guard, you fall for what seems like an eternity. The first thing that you detect, that you sense as you just drop through this featureless inky blackness, is the overwhelming stench of sulfur and rot. The next thing is something that you feel. An overwhelming, pervasive wrongness, a deep sense that both the place you are going to is not for you, and you get a keen sensation of your own failings and faults as the empty space below you opens up to a vast rust red environment. You feel a rage, an inward facing rage build up inside you. You feel unable to escape your sins, for lack of a better way to describe it. And one by one, you all descend into hell. The landscape, as I described, is dirt, rust red. Think the surface of Mars for a point of comparison. The sky, for the most part, is a sort of cloudy, faded red. Except for if you look directly above you, there is this column of vibrant, bright white light that seems to be shining directly down from infinitely high up. There's no sun, there's no source. There's just light coming down in this column, and in the air, that column is surrounded by these white feathered beings that just endlessly circle this column of light. It's a baffling scene. It would be interesting except for the rising feeling you have in yourself that you should not be here. People don't travel to the other planes of existence. It's not possible to survive here. But for the moment, here you are. Eris, the Beseech, Vesper, you see the two companions that you began your heist on, and a new face. Somebody well-muscled, wrapped in white bandages, and seemingly itching for a fight.
Hello.
Kamar, you see three unusual individuals before you. Irregulars, some kind of adventurers. You can't be certain.
Hello. Did you jump into the giant pit of hole and found yourself here and everything? Pleased to meet you, Beseech.
He reaches out a hand before he's like pushing on his chest for a second. Hold on. He's unsettled by the travel. Stop it. And then he just turns to his arm.
Are you okay?
Just brought company. They don't like to travel much. I'm all right.
Good to know. Well, I am Beseech. These are my compatriots, Harris and Vesper. And yeah, what brings you here?
Job. What brings you here?
A job. We'll leave it at that.
They kind of turn past Beseech at the source of the voice, and they do that Deadpool eye kind of thing with their the eyes that they have with the bandage, just like. And you are?
Eris. Pleasure.
Oh, pleasure. They kind of eye like the mask, and they're just Vesper. You must be Vesper. Okay. No? Yes.
So the process of elimination has served you well.
He puts his hands on his hips and he just goes like, seems like, we are all here for a job. What would yours be?
You're looking for someone.
Yeah.
Well, so am I.
Who are you looking?
Do I know who I'm looking for? Did the patron tell me that?
Not yet.
He literally just looks to y'all and says, no, not yet.
Who beans?
Couple of things happen.
Oh no.
One, Kamar, there's these three fine, lovely individuals before you. And on Beseech's shoulder, there's this toad. It's probably a familiar. That's normal. Up until this thing opens its mouth and begins to speak, looking directly at you. Go ahead and roll like a religion check, or maybe Arcana, if that's better. As you do this, Beseech, little Mephisto kind of like turns to you. I don't like her, father.
Oh,
She smells righteous.
oh, well, call me father now. Well, this is interesting. Okay, cool. Well, I don't like anybody. So, I'm gonna say, let's put your judgment. I'll put it in a corner and put it on the maybe pile, and we'll just, maybe they can be helpful and stuff.
Watch yourself. And watch him.
Well, I will. Okay.
Mozz, what'd you get on that religion or Arcana check?
It's a 4.
It's a weird fucking toad, man. That's fucking wild.
He just starts having a staring contest back, and his eyebrow just. Why does it keep following my eyes?
Oh, this is Mephisto. Call him Mephi, Fisty, or whatever nickname you can come up with. He likes flies.
And he like reaches out to like shake its paw, like our little hand. Does it do they hello, little one, do you shake, do you greet? And they like hope that they like greet back.
Little Mephisto reaches out a single little frog toad hand. I don't know if they're called hands or not. It touches you, and there's like a sizzle, like a searing sound, and it just recoils very quickly.
Okay. And they just find the nearest place to Kamar to be like, oh no. I'm good. Next time we keep our hands to ourselves. I understand that now.
Okay.
If we're done with introductions, we should probably figure out where we are.
A little more information about where you are specifically. You are in something of a base camp. There is relatively familiar seeming stuff. There's like tents and camping supplies, for lack of a better word. You can tell some of this stuff is contemporary, modern materials. And there's a small desk. It's like a little field station. So that's where you are in the extreme local. Broadly, the only landmark you're really able to clock as a landmark is to the west, maybe. I don't know. I'm not great with distances. To the west, a long way off, but close enough that you can still get a sense of size. There is just a mass of rock and earth floating in midair, held to the ground by these massive black chains. On top of this rock, this mound of hell, is a city. This black, towered, impenetrable looking city. It's hard to tell whether it's abandoned or whether it'd be full of devils, but you're next to something. There's maybe a few miles out. What do you do?
So, go to a scary-looking city, or
I don't really think we have much of a choice, unfortunately. Unless you intend to, as they say, rough it.
Loath to agree with Eris, but she does have a point.
Oh, it must be burning you up inside.
So you all progress towards the city?
yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, let's do it. You begin to walk out of this base camp past the miscellaneous articles of nonsense left behind by what you can only presume to be the Magisterium. Nobody else comes to mind as somebody who could bring this kind of power to bear. People don't just traverse worlds. People don't just hop from one plane to another. That kills people. To do this right, to do this safe, that's hidden knowledge. And so you progress past the base camp and you head along. It's something more. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm struggling with music. Anyway, you progress towards the city. You follow along. Eventually, you get, after maybe 15, 20 minutes of walking through the blistering heat, the interminable dirt storms, and just winds of plague and terribleness that just permeate this environment. You find the base of one of these large black chains that is holding this city up in the air. If anyone would like to make like a history or arcana check, the city is not unknown. But you continue along the way. As you do, you find yourself walking along a river of filthy, brackish water. It's almost slimy in consistency. I see a raised hand. Nate, what you got?
I got a dirt nat 20!
Hell yeah, dirt nat 20. Let's go. All right. So I'm taking something from the cipher system. Where I'm going to give you a bunch of information, and then you can tell me something additional that you would like to know.
Ooh.
So you get to like define your success in that way.
Okay.
So, what you know for sure, this place is called the City of Zur, the Chained City of Zur, all these kind of names that kind of aggregate together in some way. This is where the King of Hell, Asmodeus, resides. This is where his court functions. This is, for all intents and purposes, the zenith of hell. This is top of the world, most advanced of everything. This is the center of hell.
I get to add like one detail.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is, yeah. What else do you want to know?
What's the food like?
What's the food like? That is an excellent question, and of all the things you could have asked, that is certainly one that I'm not prepared for. So
I'm sorry.
no, it's all good. I love it. So that's a very interesting question. Devils have to eat, like everything else. Everything in this universe dies of old age, right? Everything relates to you in some way. Everything eats, everything, for the most part, sleeps, everything dies. So, what the food is like, in a really unsavory way, there is, you know for sure, there is some degree of devils eating other devils.
Oh.
That is a thing that occurs. You also have reason to believe that any kind of living prey, anything that is meat and edible, could become food, right? So that's something to keep, tucked away. That's something to keep in mind. But yeah, I would say broadly speaking, food and prey are kind of synonymous.
Oh no. Oh dear. Oh. All right. Oh,
Is this like an outward, like visually identifiable freak out?
Yes, this is an identifiable freak out.
Beseech is flipping his shit.
What is
Does
it?
he always do that?
Yeah, basically.
Quite often. Yeah.
Huh.
What is it?
Okay. We are in a bad place. We are in a very, very bad place. This is Zer, right?
Zer.
Zer. This is Zer. This is the place where Asma fucking Dodius is at. Oh shit. And also the food here, they like to eat other fiends, so possibly the food is devilish. But oh my god, what has she done? What has she got herself into? Oh.
Looks
Are
Are
over
any
Vesper.
of us fiends? You don't look like a fiend. You don't look like I'm not a fiend. Are you a fiend? No, you're in fiend. So we're okay.
Yeah, I will say this does seem like a, how do I say this? A you problem, I believe. But you are someone who came along with us, so I will do my best to keep you safe or whatever.
I appreciate.
Careful, she tends to demand payment for that sort of thing.
Oh.
Why'd you have to ruin the surprise, Vesper?
I only had like 5 gold in my pocket. Is that gonna be enough?
We can discuss payment plans later.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, I just see Kamar just like when he said 5 gold, you're like just looking to Eris just like and then like just quiet like mask kind of eyes just a little bit more. But they kind of look to Beseech and just says, as long as we don't stay here long, I think we get in, we get our guy, we come out, right? That's all we need to do. We just have one little thing, right? Okay. and you won't get eaten. I promise. I will try my best, 20% of my best to make sure you are not eaten. And then they'll turn this seat around like and just help them walk forward. Like, you can do this.
Wait, why only 20%? Why can't it be like a full hundo? What the hell?
That is, you know, we can do bargaining later. And just keep going.
They have the right idea. I like. Looks over to Vesper. I like this one.
20%'s a little generous, but
That makes one of us.
Personally, I would have gone for 15 or 10, but
10. Is it Christmas already?
Oh, what can I say? He's growing on me a little bit.
As you progress through this barren, rotten landscape, you find yourself walking, like I said, beside this river, this slimy, dark, brackish blue-green sludge, honestly. And eventually, you find yourself approaching a fire in the distance. You just keep walking into it. What's the move? You trying to skirt around this? Yeah. Hey, boy.
Is there like a crowd within like this like fire or something?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Above you, imps and other winged devils fly, buzz about, chittering in their bizarre language. This has been happening with the decent regularity since you landed here, but it's something to know.
All right. 16.
16, that'll do it.
Okay.
So there's certainly not a crowd.
Okay.
I would say that as you as you approach, I'll say you get the sense that there are. I'll tell you what. As you approach, you begin to identify that this is for lack of a better word, a man-made fire. This is something constructed. It's not natural. But it certainly doesn't seem large enough to be for any more than a few people at a time. People.
True. It's like
What is that? What is this?
Kamar, you feel a vicious, urgent, intense compulsion to go check out what this fire is about. You feel a pressure build up in your head.
He just clutches his head really tightly and just, okay, fine, and turns, just like walks as if he has like no control over his limbs for a second and just straight towards the fire.
oh, okay. All right.
I don't think we should be making any pit stops.
This just one pit stop, just stop. Oh, and then they'll come up to the fire. Just this better, and just like waiting for that pain, whatever, to that compulsion to stop.
Sure. So we'll go a little bit further, then we'll cut to break, and then we'll show the map and what we're looking at here. But you approach this as you begin to realize campsite. This is you see a small tent, something much more raggedy and local looking than what you assume to be the Magisterium camp that you departed from your landing zone. In addition, from rising from the banks of the river, you see what looks to be a somewhat humanoid-looking skeleton with a skull firmly planted on its side against the riverbed. This thing is maybe 30 feet tall. Imps, spined devils, and other winged creatures that you don't have words for still chitter and fly past you, either too high to spot you or too busy to care. As you stand here, from this tent, a figure emerges. It's oddly enough, a human man, maybe 5'6" or so, sort of caked in the rust red dirt of this place, with a shimmering, immaculate sort of golden longsword at his hip, contrast against the sort of tattered black wraps and robes that he is currently wearing. And he looks at the four of you curiously. More living people. Bit of a surprise.
It's your camp.
That it is. What can I do for you? Where are you just lost?
I think lost
We
is
all-
a good
I mean-
description.
Yes. In here, yes, yeah, lost, not here. Sorry. And like they just kind of nudge their like scalpel it.
Well, what can I do for you? My name is Kobo. I've been here for a while. I regret to inform you that you're likely not getting out, if that has been your desire. If that is how you seek to resolve being lost.
It was.
Don't kill the messenger.
Can't make any.
How do you know
guarantees.
this?
Personal experience. I've been here a while.
So you just gave up on trying to go back. That's good to know. We will have the drive to go back. So, oh no. Yep. Here it comes.
Kobo looks at you, Beseech, as you're talking. You should know better. You're like me. Your friends, I don't know what they did to end up here, but you signed the contract, didn't you? You got the power. Right?
Are you also a hawk of war?
Yes, I suppose that is the term that is being used. Yes. They didn't tell you this? This is where you end up, my friend. You and I were brothers.
Okay.
This. You get to inherit this. Don't you feel proud, special, powerful?
I'm sensing a lot of condescending here. First off, I'm in a healthy with my wife, so first and foremost, don't try to project what you're trying to do here. Second off, I think you need to see a therapist. It's been a long time. I am not qualified to be a therapist. I Please do not trauma dump on me or any of my party members. That is not cool. Third of all, but if you just want to talk about it, we can talk about it. Fourth of all, what the fuck are you talking about?
That was a great many points. You'll forgive me for being out of practice with social graces. My neighbors are not very chatty. As far as a therapist, I would love one. A bit hard to find out here. What the fuck am I talking about? Well, I suppose, as you put it, I am a lock of war as well. I signed the contract and ended up here.
Very bitter about
And
it.
yes, I'm upset about it. I'm mad.
So what? You gonna try and scare me?
I just want to make it very clear you're not needed. This is it. This is eternity. This is... This is where we end up.
Mystique is going to adjust his suit,
Sure.
comb his hair, and looks quite serious for the first time and says, I don't give a fuck. As long as I am with Caroline, my life is happy. But if you want to project your sadness, your cries of pain, your wallowing and wallow and wallow and wallow, Jesus Christ, do something about it. Get out of this contract. Break the contract. Who is your contractor with?
I don't think you understand. The contract is done. I'm not being held here. I was sent here and there's no way out. Forgive me. It's been a long time. Not mean to be overbearing.
Who sent you here, Kobo? Your patron? Someone else?
I suppose you could call him a patron. This creature, Mephistopheles, signed a contract with it. Died. As you do. And now I am here for eternity.
I have to go to the bathroom. Excuse me. And I am just picking up the fisty and just looking at him and like, what the fuck have you done, you fucked up little toad?
He signed the contract.
Okay.
I made the offer. He took it.
Put him into like a nicer place of hell, for crying out loud.
What do you mean nicer? This is it.
Okay, when I'm in charge, I am going to change so much shit up in this.
Good luck, father.
Ah, well, that was a nervous pee right there. Ho doggy, ho doggy.
I feel like everything with you is a nervous something.
I have anxiety. I can't help it. I'm a very-
Clearly.
Kamar, Vesper, What are y'all doing while we're out here? You too,
Kamar's
Eris.
like on hit near Kobo and just has his face scrunched up confused. Can we know his deal? You're saying all of us are trapped here?
I assume so. In all my years here, many, I've not ever heard of a reliable way to get out.
No.
How did you
can't do
end
that.
up here? Did you die?
Long story,
My
but it
job.
definitely did not involve that.
Wait, so you're not dead. You're just
I
just
better
here?
not be.
Sorry, you're aware you're pretty alive.
Last I checked, I was still breathing.
Forgive my dire predictions then.
Speaking of living people, you did happen to mention others who passed by here. Care to explain about them?
Did? A few figures in robes that didn't talk much. Shooed me away. They had an escort. Someone from around here, I assume. Another devil. Can't say I know her. But
What did this devil look like?
what does Caroline look like?
So, Caroline looks like a oh god. Ah! Caroline looks like this. Got deep red skin, black luscious hair, and eye.
Yeah, he essentially describes something similar back to you. In less loving detail, but
Hi.
is this normal? Does he do this often?
All the time.
Okay.
I assume he's trying to process some unwanted piece of information that you've just made click.
So that information
Unfortunate.
processed was, in fact, my wife. So,
Oh, well, that took a turn.
oh my God, what is Caroline Butterson? Oh my.
Little kinky, but I don't judge.
Excuse you?
You got to be careful with the jokes about the wife.
Yeah, he does get he's very, very protective of her.
Forgive me. As I said, it's been a long time, and my level of familiarity with devils is more than I would like it to be.
Well, this is, hesitate to say good news, but we are looking for her.
She and her friends went towards the city.
Oh, perfect.
Have you been there?
A few times. It's not somewhere I would like to go again, but I have been.
I imagine it is hostile.
Very. You said this person was your wife,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
You could try to leverage that.
Okay.
It's the best recommendation I have, unless you intend to sneak through the entire city, or worse, fight through the entire city.
Let's save that last option for a very, very last resort.
So what do I? A declaration that I'm here to see my wife and then carried away by imps or something?
Or
You do that first part often.
Quite a lot, yes.
being under her protection, or at least being somebody who she would retaliate over with more leverage than you have currently.
It would also explain why us, seemingly alive people, are here to begin with. It's some kind of cover. If we're going to find her, which is what we're here to do, albeit against our will.
Okay. I can. That.
Now that's
Oh.
ass. I'm using my advantage. I'm re-rolling that.
What are you rolling? What are you rolling?
There we go. That's better.
No!
All right. So, question for Vesper. Are you wearing any like paraphernalia that like indicates your faction allegiances?
No. That's part of the gig.
Okay. Then, in that case, I will say that Kamar, Kobo here kind of turns and looks at you for a second. You're a little familiar.
Really? You do say I have my mother's chin. Did you see her around?
Can't say I did. Although, this guy draws his sword as he continues to stare at you.
He like hits his chest a
Hand
couple
on weapon.
times and doesn't notice that for a second. Like
What was
has
that,
it in his.
Vesper?
Hands on the weapon.
Hands on the weapon, sure thing.
My hand is on the weapon.
And he like hits his chest a little bit. Sorry, acid reflux.
He raises his sword up at you pointedly. How did you get here?
He pulls out his like sickle in the shape of a like half moon and just says, like, "Hey, a job."
A job for who?
And then he like scratches with it a little bit, like, "Who cares? It's a job."
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. He lowers his sword a little.
There better be a way out of this, because if I have to stay around here explaining stuff to you and him one more time, I can't. What is it about me that's familiar?
You carry something with you. It's hard to describe. You've been with that thing that
He points at himself and then back at Mephisto, like, oh no, you mean me. Oh.
I mean you. You're with the new Mavish, aren't you?
Possibly.
That's good enough. Let's all roll initiative and then we'll come back after break.
Ah, here we go.
Ah!
Here we go.
Oh, come on, man.
Listen, it had to happen at some point.
Pull up my
All right, everybody, we'll tally our initiative totals and get back to you when with our full map and everything. So we're gonna take a quick break. Welcome to, yeah, and we'll see you back here in 5 to 10 minutes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Zenith. I have been told that my fine, wonderful co-stars are ready to kick some ass. And so with that, let's fucking do this. Let me put on something a little more vibrant. All right. So, Eris. This very helpful individual so far. Actually, back up. Sorry, I've got so many screens going. Okay, we do have the map up. Perfect. So, Eris, this formerly very helpful individual has raised his weapon at one of your comrades and appears to be threatening to kill him over his, I won't say religious affiliation, but certainly a business partner, perhaps. What do you do?
She simply sighs and just, now why'd you have to do that? We could have had a nice little conversation here without resorting to all this business. But if you insist, she's going to draw out a rather standard-looking rapier.
Mhm.
Almost rather befitting her sort of regal-esque air that she's kind of carrying about her, but let me double check how far away you are. Cool. Alrighty. And she's basically going to go and move in for an attack, essentially. If she's,
All right, hell yeah.
If he's already prepping for an attack, might as well bring the fight to him.
Yeah, you while he is still apparently in mid-conversation, you take the opportunity to just bolt. You kick up the dust of hell as you cross the distance between you and this black-robed figure in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
What do you do when you get in melee range?
Yeah, did not have control over my token, so I need to drag on my own one.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. I just dragged on my own, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Alright, so she'll go here and immediately go in for an attack. And I believe, because of her assassinate skill, any creature that hasn't taken its turn yet, she gets advantage on. So,
All right, let's do it.
alright, let's see those 2 rolls. First roll.
Okay.
First roll. That's a 23 to hit.
23 will definitely hit. Go
Alrighty.
ahead and roll some damage. What does it look like? What kind of a strike are you making against this person who is wearing robes and brandishing a longsword?
So as she sort of immediately just, while he's still talking, she just bolts through and sort of just cuts a path straight to him.
Mm-hmm.
It almost looked like she's going to feint for a low strike at like one of his knees almost. And she's going to stop an attack short and just thrust upwards almost with like incredible grace and poise.
All right, let's see some fucking damage.
I would if my dice tower would help cooperate with me on this. That is 6 damage.
6 damage. All right. Let's see. I can do math. All right, yeah. You go in for what, for all intents and purposes, should be a killing blow. You get right up to this person and bring your rapier up and stab him directly in the cardiac box. You were expecting punctured lungs. You might even expect a ruptured heart. That is the level of precision with which you are dealing. The fact that
actually, that's a good question.
do this and then pull your rapier out and it is completely bloodless is concerning.
So, apologies to interrupt you. I completely forgot about sneak attack. Too.
Sure, absolutely.
I completely
Nothing about
forgot
my
about sneak
description would
attack.
change. You stab a person and no blood
Yeah.
comes out. But go ahead and give me the updated damage. Kamar,
Yes.
you're on deck.
All right, so let me roll my.
This song was more chill than I
That's
expected.
11 sneak attack damage.
11 sneak attack damage. All right. So that was 17 damage total. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. Hell yeah, that'll do it. You've definitely winded this person, even though there's no blood on your rapier, and so you have officially passed all of the ability you have to reference other fights in comparison to this one. This is something else entirely. That said, person appears to be winded, so
All right, I think lastly she'll basically use her cunning action to disengage.
you disengage. Where are you headed? You've got 5 feet of movement left, I believe.
Yes. She'll go 5 foot back here.
Not a problem. Sure thing. Kamari, you're up.
He's gonna, with just a smile and like spinning his sickle, go straight at them, but without it looks like he's going to attack first with his sickle, but shoots out an eldritch blast from his finger, and it looks like a little gun, just pew pew.
Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah.
That
Go
will
ahead.
be for his first action, though.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll your attack.
That is a 13 plus 6 is a 19.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
10 for damage for that.
Nice.
Ooh.
For his second, as soon as he does that, he's running and going straight for the legs with his sickle.
Do you have 2 attacks or the ability to make 2 actions?
Yeah, I took a level in fighter.
Oh,
so I can
your
do the
action
second
surging.
wind.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Wait, is it action surging or second wind?
Second wind is a
Or is-
bonus action you have to heal. Action surge you get from 2
Yeah,
levels
that's what
in
it was.
fighter. How many levels do you have in
No,
fighter?
thanks. Literally just one.
Okay, so action surge I believe you get at 2nd level.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah,
Dang
so
it.
that'll be your next
Oh,
level
that's
up.
what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
But he will try to go for it, but he's not. He's pretending pretty much, and he just laughs and cackles, kind of like just around him, just I've been waiting. Good job, and just ends his turn there.
Do you want to make your movement up to him, or do you want to stay back?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's going up to his face.
All right, cool. I can move your token then.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, perfect. It is now Kobo's turn. Kobo looks at you, Kamar, with an unbridled animalistic fury. Your god left me for dead, and he tries to kill you. Let's see. That's a 14 plus and shit. Let's see.
Spicy.
Does
Very
a 19 hit you?
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Cool. That's gonna be
No. Why
gonna
would
be
it?
No.
10 damage, 6 piercing damage, 4 poison damage.
Oh, poison!
Oh!
And my man is coming back around with a crisp 13. Does that hit?
No.
All right, cool. Then so as he does this, he reaches up this gleaming golden longsword and just comes down with a vicious slash and kind of gets you along the collarbone. It's not quite breaking a bone or a lethal hit, but he definitely makes some contact. He tries to follow it up with a quick kind of lateral slash, but you're able to kind of duck out of the way of that. He himself kind of steps back a little bit to steady himself. The combined assault of Eris and yourself seems to have, again, winded him in some way, although you can't be sure what's going on here. There's no blood. There's no really outer indication that this person is injured. Either way, as he steps back, he inhales deeply. Brothers! And you hear some chittering, almost squeaking sound. I'm going to recommend everyone take a look at the more kind of northern part of the map as 4 imps descend down upon you. These are in the air, roughly 20 to 30 feet up.
You should have mentioned this was a family affair.
Vesper, what you got?
I think that he's been kind of watching and like readying his short bow, aimed it at the fight at hand, like had it trained on Kobo, and then as soon as I think he summons these imps, he kind of whirls around and is going to try and make an attack at that imp that is just straight north.
Straight north, let's go.
Me.
Let's see some longbow, or short bow rather.
Short bow.
Beseech, you are on deck.
Yep.
How's a 21 to hit?
21 will hit.
Thank
Howdy,
God.
Raiders.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. Let's see. Then I need a D6. That's a 4, but I can do. I don't have advantage, and there's no other. Okay, so it's just a straight up 4 damage, right?
Yes, I believe so. You don't
For this
have
situation.
sneak attack. Are you an assassin as your subclass?
I am.
These bitches haven't attacked yet, so I'll give you the assassinate feature.
Okay, thanks.
So this is an automatic crit. Is that correct, Abhishek?
Advantage
Seth?
on. It's advantage, I believe.
Okay, an advantage
yes,
grants.
if it's surprised, it's a crit. It says you have
Okay.
advantage if they haven't taken a turn.
Okay,
Yeah,
So
an
I'll roll damage
advantage.
again.
An advantage grants sneak attack. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay,
That's
cool.
correct.
Oh,
So,
I see.
Seth, you have
Yeah.
advantage, and you get to roll your sneak attack now as well on this imp.
Dope.
Uh,
Okay, so I'll roll
so you-
again.
Yeah, just to see if you get a crit or something.
Okay, no, so the 4 is going to stand, and then I need to roll 2 more.
Yeah, they roll 2d6, I believe.
Yes, at this level, yeah.
Beseech, you're on deck.
That's 4 plus 5 for total damage.
4 plus 5 for 9 total damage.
Yes.
How much health does an imp have? Oh, that'll fucking do it.
Why are you asking me?
I will say that's a great question to be asking your players, Sir God.
So,
I'm going to say 1 hit point.
so for the rest of y'all, what you see is these imps. There are these clouds of flying devils just in the air, moving from one point to the next, and speaking their strange diabolical tongue. 4 of them come down in response to Kobo's call for his brothers with absolutely inhuman swiftness and with a peerless aim. Vesper, who had an arrow knocked and ready to fire at Kobo, turns and you swear without even looking, just fires off an arrow, hits this one imp square in the face, and it falls with a splash into the water. So that motherfucker's dead. Beseech, what you got?
All right, I'm gonna look over to like the other imp that was not dead and everything.
The
So
one that's like perched on the mast of the sunken ship.
yeah,
Hell yeah!
and I'm gonna point at it and go Eldritch Blast. Pew pew.
You ready an eldritch blast at this imp that is sort of like grasped onto the lateral beam of this sail, and it's just looking at you, cackling as you prepare and fire your offer spell.
Does a 15 hit?
15 hits.
Alrighty.
Hey.
Let's see
Hey.
some damage.
All right, here we go. Holy shit. Okay. I need to double check. Do I have agonizing blast? I need to double check that. I don't think I have agonizing blast.
I'm not gonna say it's a mistake if you don't, but like,
I don't have agonizing blast. So that is that. It's all good. It's agonizing blast is overrated. Yeah, I said it. What's up? So that's a max. That is a max of 10 damage.
All right, cool. What does it look like when you kill this imp?
It just kind of looks like takes the shape of like a gun and just kind of like fires out like an eldritch bullet that says "ta ta" as it just goes. "Ugh."
So y'all see this absolutely bizarre display where Beseech raises up a hand, and as his arm is getting into position, the ambient dust and dirt and bits of hell around you coalesce into the form of a contemporary firearm. As his arm is in motion, without stopping to aim carefully, boom, he fires it off. There is this flash of light, and this eldritch projectile hits this cackling imp. And if you look at Beseech, his arm is like straight back from the recoil of the weapon, and there's like a little flag sticking out of it. Ta-ta.
No, wait. Meme.
All
Meme
right,
inspiration
let's
has been
fucking
acquired.
go.
Meme
We got
inspiration has been acquired.
two
Yo.
imps now. Let's see what they've got. Where's my ruler? How far can you go?
Not very far. You can't hit us.
All right, so this imp he landed briefly on the other side of the river to suss out the situation, and then with a compression and a leap, he launches himself and flaps across the water and lands on the like side of the maw of this 30-foot tall skull that's just in the air. And he lands and sort of rears up onto his back legs. He sort of like does this a little bit, almost as if he's trying to generate friction in the air, and he just pulls, and a mote of fire appears in his right arm. He looks at the situation wildly, trying to pick a target, and eventually he lands on Beseech. You. And he throws a firebolt at you. Let's see some roll. Oh, that's a natural 2. That does not hit. So despite the fervor of this imp, this firebolt sort of like hits the dirt beside you and sort of bounces as if a baseball was thrown, leaving bits of glass where the fire hits the dirt. So that's that one imp. This other imp is going to fly down here, perch himself on top of the tent, and essentially repeat the same process, this time on Eris. What's your armor class?
Lovely. My armor class is a 15.
That's an 8 plus what? 8 plus 5. That does not do it. So again, this imp sort of lands on the top of this tent and throws a firebolt, and again, it just kind of bounces off the dirt.
I know you think I'm hot, but I mean, please leave the pyrotechnics for later.
And Eris, we're back up to you. Kamar, you're on deck.
Alrighty. So I think seeing how well her first attack went, So you said the imp right here is basically landed on this camp like tent kind of
Yeah,
thing.
he's on top of the tent for sure.
Okay. I mean, I'm assuming that's like level with like Eris's height or like slightly above, like not like needing like a range
Yeah,
to like
it's like 5 feet in the air.
Oh,
So
okay.
you would be able to get it with
Poke
your
it
weapon,
out.
no
Okay,
issue.
cool. Okay, perfect. She'll just move up to it and just stab it with a rapier, basically.
All right, sure thing.
If I can find my d20, there it is. 12. Does an 18 hit?
18 does hit. Roll some damage.
Perfect. Ten
10 damage. That'll fucking do it. What does it look like as you kill this imp?
Seeing how I'm assuming, was this the one that threw the pyrotechnic at her earlier?
Yeah, this is the one that attacked you.
Okay, perfect. So as she sort of recovers from the imp sort of throwing that firebolt at her, she's going to basically just settle back for a moment and just, like she did with Kobo, dash into the imp and just not even just going for a feint, just a straight stab to the face this time, and just not even just giving her a parting word, just like good riddance.
Imps are good.
Oh no, so go dude.
Imps are erratic, unpredictable creatures, but somehow, for some reason, you might have found a weakness that they evidently don't deal so well with other erratic and active combatants. In the blink of an eye, you cross the distance between yourself and this imp who is barely in the process of recoiling from having tossed a firebolt in your way. It looks at you with unmasked surprise as you enter its personal space, and it reacts with only the beginnings of as you reach up your rapier and just stab it straight through the bottom of the mouth, essentially. You pull it out, the imp sort of falls back in a sort of splatter of orange, black, goopy blood.
Really should clean my weapon next time after this.
Kamara, you're up.
Go ahead. I was gonna say she can use her cutting action to hide.
Cutting action to hide. Do you have any movement left? I think it's unlikely you would be able to hide within 5 feet of Como.
I think that was only about 10 feet of movement, I want to say, so I have about 20 feet of movement left.
Sure, you can hide. You will have to take an opportunity attack, though.
That's fair.
You can't hide within 5 feet of this person.
That's fair. I'll take the attack. It's fine.
All right, let's fucking see it. Hell yeah! Does a 18 hit?
That does hit. Yeah.
All right, let's see what we get. All right, you take 9 points of damage. That is 6 points of piercing and 3 points of poison.
Okay.
Yeah, so after you have killed this imp, you take a quick look at the writing. Kobo seems engaged in combat with Kamar, and so you take the opportunity to try to bolt out and dash away. But it is, as you do, it is not before Kobo sort of like stretches out a hand at Kamar, gives almost a sort of like magical push to just shove him back for enough of time to come back with the other hand and just give you a big sort of slice across the back. So you take that 9 points of damage. You're free to move and then attempt a stealth check.
Yes, so I got a... What is it? So, I got a 21 on that stealth check. So.
21 on the stealth check, that'll do it. Do you want to hide by the skull or the tent? It's unlikely you'll be able to find a hiding spot anywhere else.
We'll take the tent.
You'll take the tent, sure thing. You dive into the tent. And, Kamar, you're up. Kobo is still trying to kill you.
He, with a smirk, just kind of does like a quick snap and casts sword bursts. And it's just like spectral beams of like white light rather than like swords all around him. They have to do a dexterity saving throw.
All right,
14.
Let's see what we got. 14 is the DC?
Yes.
Let's see. That's a 16 on the die, so that'll do it. What's the what happens if they save?
They don't get hit by the force damage, so
Okay,
he
no
just
damage?
kind of he just sees that and uses that to go backwards away from them.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So this is bizarre. So what happens is, Kamar casts Sword Burst. He has the sickle in one hand and a free hand in the other. He sort of brings them together, and there's just this pulsing white light that just emanates out for about 30 feet. You aren't hurt by it, but for a brief moment, the briefest moment in time, the pain, the misery, the negative self-reflection, the just rotten feeling of sinfulness that hell puts into you dissipates for a brief moment. For a brief moment, you feel like a real person again before hell collapses down on you once more. Do you have a bonus action or anything else you would like to do on your turn, Kamar?
Yes. He casts his Hexblade's curse on them. So he just like pushes through his sickle, and it looks like he's like taking it from his sickle and kind of like darting light at him. And that'll be his turn.
This is infuriating to him. You cast your Hexblade's curse, and whether direct or indirect, whether through yourself or through the Angel of the Presence or through the ultimate progenitor of this power, this entity that may or may not even exist, this thing, Enuma Elish, it is marked Kobo, and he looks around in infuriated bewilderment for a moment. You fucking dare! And he attempts to kill you again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a natural 2. That's not going to do it. I'm not going to roll this. I'm going to use the crit that I got from our wonderful donations. And so let me roll that damage first. All right. So what happens is, how much HP do you have left, Kamar?
Oh no!
Why?
Just curious.
30?
30? Okay, you'll be fine. So Kobo makes one slash. It goes wild. You're able to sort of catch it with your sickle and pull it up. But as you are resetting, he comes back with his free hand and grabs you by the neck. I can't wait for you to kill me so I can meet your god and spit in his face. He stabs you through the stomach with his sword and just pulls. You take 16 points of damage as he just drops you carelessly onto the ground. Who's next? Vesper, you're up.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. Just
Brutal.
whew.
Oh wait, I have. Oh, so it doesn't matter. Okay. I think that upon witnessing this act of essentially just wanton brutality, Vesper's attention is taken from this imp that's just kind of chilling on the giant skull, and I would like to try and make an attack against Kobo.
Sure.
So I'm going to train my short bow upon him, and God, please don't embarrass me. 14?
14, let's see, is that 14 total?
Yes.
That's not gonna do it.
Fuck me. Okay.
So rather distressingly, Vesper, with all of his preternatural aim and skill, trains his short bow on Kobo and fires a shot off, again, faster than the blink of an eye, faster than is normal, natural, or possible to aim a conventional weapon. And as he does, Kobo just snaps his head in that direction, just flips an arm out, and just bats the arrow away with the flat of his sword. Who's fucking next? Beseech, you're fucking next. What do you got?
All right, you asked for it. I'm just gonna like snap my fingers. The Eldritch gun is gonna like dissipate, and shadows are going to wrap my hands to form a shadow blade as I cast Shadow Blade and eat it at this man's direction.
All right, sure thing. Let's go. What do you got?
All right, let's see. Come on, homie. Okay. Do I? Okay. Okay. So that's a 14.
That's not gonna do it.
All right. I'm just gonna give him the finger and just be like, "Come at me, bitch."
So, Beseech, you sort of like pull, and again, the dust of hell kind of like just coalesces into the form of a blade that you pull out of the air, and you pull your arm back and toss it, and Kobo reaches up and catches this thing, blade first in his hand, and just throws it onto the ground. I will fucking kill you.
Bold move taunting the murder-happy person who's trying to kill us.
And as you throw up the birds with all the pride of a man who is 20 to 30 feet away, one of the imps from his perch on the giant skull looks at you. My turn, and leaps and launches himself to your melee range. Let's see what we got as it comes at you with its tail stinger. That is a natural 6 plus 5. Does an 11 hit you?
It just hits.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Make me a Constitution saving throw then.
Here we go. Here we
How
go.
do I have higher AC than you, bro?
Because I put nothing into my.
Listen, casters be like,
Beseech is made of glass.
listen, he's just a
glass
man
cannon.
he's just a man who wants to get his wife back.
Just feelings.
I missed my Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay, so fun fact, I have a -3 to that. So
Yeah.
Oh dear God!
this is gonna be funny. All right.
Oh dear God, no!
It's been fun playing the game for one session
Good
with
sir,
our full party.
Oh, sevens for you.
All right. That is an 8.
That won't do it. So what y'all see is Beseech is standing there, birds high in the air, loud and proud. This imp comes flying in from out of fucking nowhere, kind of like grabs onto his neck and sort of swings into position. It is now 2 arms on his shoulders, and it comes in with its tail stinger and just Beseech, you take 15 points of damage, 5 points piercing, 10 points poison, as you are stabbed repeatedly by the tail stinger of this imp.
Okay. So, question.
Maybe answer. Who knows?
Okay. So, how long is Armor of Agathis? Okay. So, Armor of Agathis lasts for about an hour. I casted it last session. Has an hour passed?
I'm going to say almost certainly. Between the falling, the walking out here, I can't imagine all of this would have taken less than an hour.
All right. Cool beans. 15 damage, you said?
Yes.
I am out.
Oh
All
my
right.
God!
So, y'all see this imp that is latched onto Beseech just stab him repeatedly with the tail singer, and he begins to collapse and fall. He falls back, and the imp kind of like perches like a cat ready to pounce, and it just looks at whoever's in the vicinity. and jumps up to fly again. We'll see who he lands on when his next turn is up. Fucking Eris, you're up.
I am up. Yeah.
You're alive for now.
For now. I think. So how does flank? I'm assuming flanking applies as normal in here.
In this case, yes. There are some creatures for which flanking would not apply, like a beholder that has 10 eyes or a Taras.
Right, yeah.
Too big for flanking to mean anything. But for a person, yes, you can flank.
Okay, I'm assuming I still have to get in line with Kamar.
Yes, yeah, and I'll say
Okay.
you just get advantage. I'm not too pressed about.
That's fair. Honestly, I just that's what I was wondering anyway. So that's fine. So you'll see her move into a sort of flanking position behind Koba. And where did I put my D20? I know I put you somewhere. There you are. And she will go ahead and not being a fan of watching, the person who requested her services go down like that. She's gonna take her anger out on like, getting a payday on like the nearest target, who happens to be Koba. So let's roll with advantage, baby.
Let's see what you got. Kamar, you're on deck.
Does a 16 hit?
16 just hits.
Oh, thank God.
We'll see.
Alrighty. So that is rapier, I believe, plus sneak attack, since I did get advantage on that.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
And Kobo is occupied by Kamar.
Yes. Alrighty, so that is, double check the damage on that.
You hear in the background, "Father, no,
Father.
Guys, my next character is Methisti, so don't worry, it's all good.
Oh yeah.
That is 17 damage again from Eris.
17 damage. All right. Kobo is still up, but barely. What does this attack look like? As he is standing over Kamar, who he just picked up by the throat and stabbed through the stomach.
So seeing that, plus happening to glance out of her peripherals, like seeing Beseech go down because of the emb, she's like, "You are not robbing me my payday today." So she moves into position and immediately raises her rapier and starts multi-thrusting, essentially, like going for arms, legs, torsos, everything, in order to deal as much damage as possible.
Kamar, from where you are, your vision is blurry. You just feel the warmth of wet, fresh blood spreading from your gut across the rest of your body. From the corner of your eye, you see this shadow, this figure dart in from the side of your peripheral vision behind Kobo, and then all of a sudden, you just see the point of a sword just repeatedly erupt from the center of his chest and pull out and go back in and out again. Eris is putting in fucking work. Kobo, for his part, again, miraculous and awful. No blood comes from this sword. All this man does is just just exhales, and he just seems winded, exhausted, but not dead, not bleeding, not hurt enough.
I think for
Oh,
cunning
your
action,
bonus action.
For cunning action, I was just gonna say she's gonna play safe and disengage.
You disengage? Sure.
Yeah.
You're welcome to move wherever you'd like.
Nice.
Kamar, you're up. Kobo is looking rough.
He's over me, right? And I have to break away.
You don't
What would I-
have to break away. This was all narratively kind of just describing him
Cool.
throwing you down. You're essentially where you were.
Yeah,
start of your
just
last turn.
for that transition, seeing Eris do this, Kamar's pure instinct, he is nothing like Zahir, and Zahir already has a wife, but Kamar just sees Eris do this, just like, this is beautiful. Just wow, my God. Oh my God, the flourishes. how does she do this? And then just as like they are doing that, they kind of just feels like a very like musical note in his head as he kind of pulls back and just like watching this happen before he aims his Eldritch Blast at them, like pretty much at their face, just instead of like a gun, just like that.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an attack roll.
It's 11 plus 7 for an 18.
All right. Will you permit me to describe this?
Yeah.
All right. So, Eris, as you have like grabbed onto this man's shoulder and you just as often and as quick as you can, and something is not clicking. Something's not giving. As this happens, you hear a scuffle. Kamar kind of rolls over on his shoulder and like springs back up. As Kobo begins to turn and attempt to turn his focus to you, which, oh shit, this man doesn't die, and he has a proven track record of attempting to kill people.
True.
You see this hand come in from out of your peripheral vision. Kamar grabs his face, and there's a palpable as Kamar just grabs his face and just pulls out an Eldritch Blast, and just shatters Kobo entirely. His face caves in, and he just collapses in a heap. The imp that is still in your presence looks around, formerly ready to pounce, and it sees that Kobo has just been killed and is like, and flies away and flees as fast as possible. If anyone would like to make a parting shot, you can. But
I have to redeem myself.
you
Looks
to
at
redeem
Vesper, who is the
yourself.
only one of us who is ranged, I think, aside from Kamar.
I have to redeem myself.
For the assassin's honor, come on, man.
Vesper.
18 plus.
All right. 18
wanna
plus,
say that
that'll
hits.
do it.
I want to say that hits.
I'll
Yeah.
give you sneak attack, if nothing else, but because this fucker's panicked. Go ahead and roll some damage.
So what's that? The total of 3d4? Because 1d4 for
Yeah.
short bow and then 2 for sneak attack.
Yeah.
2d6, I think, for sneak attack.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
6.
See, this is why we have people playing the same classes. We
Plus
get to
6?
remind each
Yeah,
other.
right?
Yeah.
Because God knows I don't know how this shit works.
So 18 damage?
18 damage, that'll
18
fucking
sixes?
do it. Again, with preternatural skill, aim, and ability.
Yeah, that's right.
Vesper, this hooded, black-clad figure, and you hear the loosening of an arrow, and you hear this imp as it crashes and collapses into the river. Couple of
As
Got
as soon as they did that final blow, you see the bandages come off, and Kamar's like, and curses before Zahir like pops out, and all you see Zahir is like curly black hair and pretty much his last outfit he wore, and he's like, shit, he always quits right away, and he's, damn it, and he like gets up and just, where the am I? And sees the siege on the ground and runs to see to them.
Beseech, can you go ahead and roll me a death saving throw? Zahir, as you return to yourself, as you reclaim ownership of your own body, the cold, horrifying realization sinks in. Even though no one has told you, even though there's really nothing for you to go on but guesswork and estimations, you're in hell. Something has gone terribly wrong. That's his face, Nate. What have you got?
So I thought I was gonna get a nat 1 because it was so close to like rolling, but the dices have blessed me. It is a natural 20.
Hey! Hey, let's go.
You can't kill love, baby.
All
Let's
right.
go.
So then I will ask that I will ask you this, Beseech, as you
Hmm?
fade in and out of consciousness, what brings you back to yourself? Where do you find the will to persist?
Siege thinks about Cassandra. Thinks about the first time that he saw her. Stuck in his hospital bed. Sees we're just talking. Over to oh no. Not yet. Not until
Zahir, as you run over to approach this person, friend, ally, co-worker, what is this man? It's not clear yet. As you rush over to attend to this person who, by all accounts, should be dead. He begins to rise.
Oh God, I haven't.
Are you breathing?
I just got stabbed by a fucking imp and poison almost killed me. But besides from that, I'm doing peachy. How are you doing, homie?
I'm in hell. I'm not doing. And he'll like grab his hand to kind of pull him up to his seat.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't. All right. So I've learned a valuable lesson. Don't get too cocky during fights. Oh, all right. Ruin my suit. God damn it. I like this suit. All right. Okay. So how are we all doing?
Look like shit.
I mean, I'm doing rather well, aside from I really must get that tailored. It's fine.
Yeah, like shit. And they like pull back the shoulder injury that they got. Just
From out of nowhere, you hear footsteps. A slow crunch of boot on dirt. Zahir, you're probably the only person who immediately recognizes this figure. Vesper, Eris, Beseech. All you see is this winged person. Maybe 6.5 feet tall. Smoky, solid black eyes. Slowly walking over the landscape of hell towards the body of Kobo. Silently, without acknowledging any of you. The angel of the presence of Enuma Elish kneels down and touches the side of the fractured skull of this person who tried to kill you over vague religious affiliation. Something happens. There's a shudder in the air. It's not attached to anything you see or anything your other senses can detect. The angel of the presence nods at you, Zahir. Well done, my good and faithful servant. And it departs with the soul of Kobo upwards. You don't know what that means. But you know you're still in hell.
The only thing he does is look around and just smother like his face in his clothes and just cry out. Because if she's not in this world, then he's not in the wrong world. So he looks to his group and screams out just fuck out loud, and as like and like hits the ground over and over before just I thought that was it. That would take us back. Why aren't we going back?
Surprisingly, you watch as Eris walks over to Zahir and puts a hand on his shoulder. Not really saying anything, just placing her hand there, just letting you know, I'm here.
They just look to Eris and nod of thanks, but on his face is just this despair of like never going home, that feel of what if we don't, what if we don't, what if we don't. And then looks to Vesper and Beseech for what do we do now?
Well, fight our way out.
Couldn't agree more.
City is still our best lead.
Howdy.
You okay to walk there,
Keep
Z?
moving.
Or do you need a
Yeah.
hand?
They'll reach out the hand and like pretty much hold it to get up, and like put like their tears into their sleeve and just, if you'll have me.
I mean, considering you've already sort of joined us, I mean, might as well.
Yes, but that was the other one. I feel like I have to speak for both of us once in a while.
Speaking of, you've got quite the story to tell me about that later on.
I do. It's nice to see you again, Nurse.
You too.
Hell does not become more forgiving as you progress. You trudge slowly, painfully through the barren, desolate landscape. Beseech, it becomes increasingly obvious to you that any one of these would feel like hundreds of imps flying around, delivering messages, chattering, sitting, and gnawing on bones. Any one of these fuckers could just fly down and kill you. Zahir, becomes increasingly apparent that you are not supposed to be here. The other guy. Maybe him. Maybe he's cut out for this. Maybe he deserves to be here. Not you. Eris, it becomes increasingly apparent that, sure, you can call this a job. You can hide behind work. You can say this is just like anything else, any other weird, random thing you've been paid to do. Sure, you can say this is just like the rest of them because you're still getting paid at the end of the day, right? This is something else. You're in a place that's not meant for people. You're in a place that's not meant for you. You're in a place where all of the hundreds of different bodies, the hundreds of different skins and faces and identities and names, none of those fucking... You're meat down here, just like everything else. And Vesper, there are no shadows to hide in this desolate wasteland. Nothing. No weak, soft targets to pick at from a distance. No politicians, elites to target. And no connection. The people that you know, the people in your corner. Mother Mishka, the left hand of holiness. Worlds away doesn't begin to describe their distance. And Enuma Elish, God, you're about as far away from her as you can get. You trudge onward, unceasingly, mercilessly. Maybe you'll get out of here. But maybe you won't. And that's where we'll call it a session tonight.
Oh.
Oh, what a cliffhanger! Are you kidding me?
Welcome to
Oh.
hell.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Oh god.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but I had an absolute blast tonight. I hope you did as well. We're gonna quickly go around one more time, say who we are, where you can find us on the internet for any further projects that may or may not be in existence. We can quickly talk about any favorite mentions that we have from this session, and we'll hear quick notes from the voice of God, the tech angel themselves, Mer, who will give us any channel announcements, and then we all, you and I, the audience, and I, will all dip off and have ourselves a good night. So I suppose I will go first. Hello, y'all. My name is Alex. I have been your enthusiastic and grateful GM for this evening. I've had a blast. This has been a lot of fun. Favorite points of the session. I loved Beseech standing there defiantly with his 11 whole hit points, giving the birds to anyone and everyone who would listen. I knew this motherfucker had a negative constitution, and the boldness with which he paraded that around is second to none. And I absolutely love and respect how fearsome that 8 constitution proved to be in combat. That's all I've got for tonight. Someone else start talking, or I'll pick on you.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Dice and Autism. I tell stories on the internet. You guys can follow me most places at Dice and Autism. I run an actual play on here. It's going to be going on every other Wednesday called Neuralis. It's run by a whole cast of group of people. And I loved almost dying. That was honestly hilarious because honestly, I am a player that does not fear death. I love death as a concept and everything, and just like that fact of just like deceased getting so close to death was just like, and then Oz, your character of just kind of like helping them out and everything was just like, oh, c'est magnifique. It was so good. It was so good, homie.
I can probably go next. Hi everyone, my name is Abhishek Matange. You could find me at neon underscore Raiden on Twitter, formerly on X, whatever the word site, whatever you want to call it, honestly. I'm a big fan of Tokusatsu. You can also find me in very recently released Caldera Heart, which is a story podcast over on Goblets and Gays at Twitter. If you're like Persona 5, you're definitely gonna like this. It's very in that realm. So definitely go check it out. It was such a blast to be able to record with it. Episode 1 just dropped, I believe, yesterday, actually. And I think my favorite part of this entire session was just Kamar. Honestly, Kamar is such a badass. Kamar is such a badass, honestly. And I just love his introduction to the group and just how ready for a fight he was. And just right up my alley in terms of characters I like. So yeah, really had a great time with that.
I can go next. Hi all, I'm Mozz or Mozzarella with 3 L's over here on Twitch. I am a voice actor and do TTRPG stuff and gaming with my community who are like first time players and people who really want this awesome space to game. So we started Starcrawl RPG, and one of the coolest things that we've been building for the last year over at my channel is world building for this Mushroom Kingdom with Game of Thrones and like Bridgerton and wonderful like honor system that we're kind of doing. We're gonna use the Witch RPG system with, and hopefully in 2025 start running it with almost like 30 plus people with like all the houses filled because the realm is in danger and the throne is, well, there's no king to sit on the throne, which I cannot wait for. But yeah, that's where you can find me, either Mozzarella for weekend world building or Starcrawl RPG. I had so much fun, Alex. This was such a great game. This is my favorite character, and anytime I get it, like I thought I had to say goodbye to them in my last camp.
And this was amazing. I wish I could say like all the little different things, all the introduction.
The words. I don't think there was a moment I was just like I was just completely in this, so I loved it. Was something happening?
Yes.
Something
Yeah,
happened,
your voice
didn't it?
did a lot.
Something happening?
It was
voice-
great.
Someone please clip that. Someone clip it, please.
Please.
Was that planned? No, it was not planned. I promise you.
It was great anyway.
It was
I have a
fantastic.
Stream Deck
Thank you,
pedal,
Shadow.
and like I hit it. Is it still going?
No.
No, you're good.
No,
You're good. You're good.
you're good.
It's so good now.
Seth, you're up.
What
Oh my
happened?
god, I can't breathe.
What did it sound like?
You got helium
It sounded
voice,
like
but also really
It
deep.
sounded like a demon.
Yeah,
and
you
then
went
it sounded
deep voice and then
Oh.
helium voice and then back to normal.
This is
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
This voice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Nari, you can't. Oh, I know what happened. I know what happened. I have my streamer bot on, and when I get like a thing happen on my stream, it changes my voice, and that's what happened.
Hey.
Yeah. Please to Seth. I'm so embarrassed. Sorry, y'all.
Oh my god. So that was my favorite part of today's stream.
Excellent. Very good.
In all seriousness, hi, I'm Seth. You can find me on Instagram only at seth.np3, where you can look at me post pictures of my cats and food. That's all I do. Other than that, I do be out here sometimes in like one-off charity games and whatnot. Currently, don't really have anything else going on except for this, which is fine because it's freaking amazing. I think my favorite part of tonight is my lingering regret that we probably could have gotten some good info from Kobo had we not triggered combat. So I like the feeling that I have right now of like, if we would have approached that differently, maybe something else would have happened. As far as character moments, I very much enjoyed getting to meet Zahir. It's cool. It's cool as fuck. And now I have to be cooler, and I don't know how I'm going to do that.
I mean, good luck with that.
I don't think it's going to happen.
All right, and now we humbly beseech the voice of God. Mayor.
What about
Tech
you?
Angel. Me?
Yeah, did you do yours?
I went first. I talked.
I was.
He didn't go first.
I
Okay,
expressed
that's
my
my
sincere
fault.
appreciation
God.
for beseech and his middle fingers.
Sorry, that was my bad.
No,
Okay.
you're all good.
Anyway.
Are there any channel announcements before we head off?
Yeah, just our regular ones. I'm going to quickly go over the schedule. So on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we have our newly premiered game of Humblewood Season 2 Yonderbound. Monday nights, we have a Cypher game called Journey to Book's End, which I am running at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern is our weekly Gate Nights, video game Gate Nights. Thursday, we have this right here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, we have our flagship game Horizons Call. And that's really it. Just keep an eye out maybe on channel announcements and Twitters. We may or may not be having some casting calls for October games soon. Oh, also Friday nights, we have our monthly movie nights. We will be rating Entropy Emporium. And we will see y'all not next week. Y'all are off next week, right?
Yes, we are off next week. We will be rejoining you in 2 weeks. Hope you all will join us when we get out of hell.
Bye, folks.
Bye.